Oh, that sounds so good. It feels like, while it is probably a similar story, it is also a separate story from what we've already been seeing. There's something different happening here. And I think in order to make sense of what it could be hinting at in the other content, we have to figure out what's happening first in this story. Hi, Angie, and welcome back. And happy holidays! Now, this is a little bit late, obviously. Currently, we are in the month of December, which is like the busiest month for me personally. And as I'm sure most of you know, ENHYPEN came out with some content that I know personally I wasn't expecting, at least for another month. So we are going to watch, analyze, and react to the content. It's a song and a video related to the articles I'm assuming that they've been dropping on Vampire Live or something like that, which has been really fascinating. So I'm really excited to kind of check this out and see what's going on with it. I have been reading the Dark Moon Two Moons webtoon. It's really good, and I do have a couple of theories about what this could be about based off of the articles that we've seen in the Instagram reels. I think initially I thought this was going to connect to Dark Moon Two Moons, but with the content that I've been seeing, I'm wondering if we're still going back to kind of like the Romance Untold era, just because in their like prologue webtoon thing called Children of Bamfield, there's a character in it called Chloe, and she is a human who turns into a vampire, which tends to be a theme for this concept I've heard for this album. And the vampires that are involved hide in a cave, and there's also the blood moon, which is like a pill that they take, which is in the album. So those are kind of my theories on where we are at timeline-wise with these videos, but I guess we'll see. I haven't had a lot of time to really think through or try and analyze everything. Again, holidays, but I figured I might as well try and check out the video at least so I can think more on it and kind of see how I feel like we're going to be going in terms of the direction of the album coming up. So yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. So we will be watching and reacting to, I believe, 2 videos. It's the Chapter 1 No Way Back, and it's an interlude, apparently. So yeah, let's go. Definitely see the story of them trying to turn someone into a vampire, running away. I'm gonna rewind it later. I saw a couple of things I want to check out. This is the cave that oh, there we go! This is the cave that I've seen like an Instagram reel of. I have not heard the song either. I think I've heard like little clips of it. The lyrics are on, right? I got captions on. There we go. I'm gonna need that. Interesting, okay. Oh, this sounds so good! Oh, I like this. Oh, I like this. I like this a lot. Wait, there's words on the cave. Oh, that sounds so good. Sorry for the lighting. I have no good lighting in here. It's dark. It's nighttime. I'm trying to do this in my free time. This is really good. I really like the song. So we have the story of them turning her into a vampire. So first things first is what we see in their music videos is going to be a story that is connected to, but isn't going to exactly reflect what we see in their webtoons. So while this could be relative to Dark Moon, Two Moons, and the story of Suha, I do believe it's connected more so to the story of the Children of Vanfield, which takes place in the past, about 20 years before. But there is one thing that made me question whether it was related to Suha. But first, I kind of want to go back and kind of look, because there's a couple of things I noticed. First is you can kind of see some hoods. Like here, there's someone already watching this scene right there in the background. And then here, right there, there's there's another vampire seeing this happen. So they're being watched. Oh, and it looks like they're the ones who catch them. That's why okay, cool. So that's why they fly away. There's a train! In their webtoon, there isn't like a vampire society necessarily where there's like a head of the vampire. Well, not currently. Where there's like rules or anything like that. From what we understand, the vampires that did exist up until the Blood Altar story were like underlings of the bad guy. However, in the past, we learned that there are other like big name vampires that do exist. I'm still confused on the hierarchy there or how that works, but they don't mix or live in society in the same way that it seems like they do in this story or in the story of Romance Untold. So that's why it feels like, while it is probably a similar story, it is also a separate story from what we've already been seeing, because there's so many like new rules that are happening with it, like this apparent vampire society that exists that they seem to be running away from. The only cloaked figures that I'm aware of are the red-hooded vampires that we've seen in Anteam's Dark Moon Grey City story, or we also have the White Hand tribe that we see in Dark Moon, Two Moons, which are not vampires, they're a group of shamans or witches. Okay, here there's something that I found interesting. When they run away, there's someone with them that they take with them. So here you have all the boys. Oh, here they are. Okay, so this is the person, I guess, who is running away with them, that they're taking with them, who I guess was supposed to turn to a vampire. For our story, we would assume that's Suha, but this doesn't feel like it's Suha. This feels like it could be Chloe, again, the girl from the other story, but she, in Children of Vanfield, spoiler alert, has already turned into a vampire. That's a big spoiler, I'm sorry about that. So they wouldn't need to save her if that's the case. So this version of Chloe, or this version of Engine, is different. Has not been turned yet. And it's not Suha, because Suha is, while she's not technically a vampire, she's not a vampire. And that's why I started questioning if it's Suha, because Suha has the ability to turn into fog or like smoke, basically. And we see that coming up. Oh, this sounds so good. I think I did see about this place. This I saw about, something about it being in California. So this fog is what I assumed was supposed to be Suha. And it turns into bats. So I don't think it's a bad vampire is looking for them. And then here, like, yeah, it's like they're reaching out to them. Or she's reaching out to them. Now it's by to everything. Oh, sorry, saying that after I just said it feels like she's reaching out to them. Wow, that's insane. I'm gonna theorize. Just give me a second, hon. I wanted to take a look at the lyrics because I couldn't see them clearly earlier. Is that Sungwoon? It's always Sungwoon! Sungwoon or Sonu? And it's showing that these bats are people. Come on. There's the scene again. There was a word here. I did say no way back. No way back. Okay. Oh, so good! So sometimes the best way, sometimes the only way to analyze in a way that will help you kind of make things make sense is to separate what you already know, which is what I feel like I'm gonna have to do, because I know the story of Children of Vanfield, I know the story of Dark Moon, Two Moons, and while this story could connect, there's something different happening here, and I think in order to make sense of what it could be hinting at in the other content, we have to figure out what's happening first in this story, which we kind of already do, but the lyrics definitely tell more of it. So in this specific society where vampirism seems to be has a society and has a culture and has a hierarchy, the rule is that you cannot turn a human into a vampire, which is interesting because that's definitely something that happens a lot in the webtoons, which is why it's different. While we don't know the story of why they do it or why it's their choice yet, maybe kind of like what we've seen before, to like stay with this person forever, or to be able to have, they can't become mortals, so to be able to gain that power from her, who knows. But either way, they've made a choice that is not something they can do in this world, and it's very different because in this world vampires already exist. So if turning a human into a vampire is something that's technically illegal or it's a taboo, then that means that these vampires were born or have been vampires for a long time and have not been able to break that. You cannot create more vampires. It's almost like a pure-blooded thing, right? So these vampires instead turn this human, what I'm assuming most vampires consider to be dirty, into a vampire. And that's like taboo, probably because to them it's like they're unworthy of having that power, of having the ability to live forever, to like be in the society that they currently exist in. And so when the boys are running away and they're saying there's no way back, they're running away from what they know. They're running away from the society that they've lived in their entire lives, because in this story, and I'm going based off of like the articles that we've seen and just as what it seems to be like a society of vampires, like they've lived in this for a long time and they're having to leave that behind because of this choice that they made. Again, this still makes me think of Suha, which is very interesting because Suha doesn't exist. If we're separating it, Suha doesn't exist in this world. So is this hand reaching out the vampires themselves? Is it the vampirism that's having to, like, that they're saying goodbye to? Erase the shadows of the past. When you hear sounds like this, it's like they're in a separate world temporarily. They're experiencing something separate. That's why I find it interesting that it's with Songwoo, but we're gonna leave this here for now. They've been found. We're in the ship. I came on to ashes. Ooh, that's good. Loaded up with the fears I brought. And step across the shards. Oh my god. Oh, that's so good. I do think we're probably gonna get our answer to what's going on with this soon. But the no way back part, I don't know. It almost makes it feel like they are leaving not just a vampiric society behind. We'll have to see. But my biggest question is why they tried to turn her into a vampire in the first place. And the main, like, the easiest answer would be because they love her. Sure. But, like, I don't know, that feels too simple. So I'm hoping maybe we'll have some answers on that later. But if not, and maybe we've had it before, maybe if we connect this to the Romance Untold story, which is technically a love story, and we've talked about the XOXO having, like, this thing where they're trying to save this person, and they're going back in time, rewinding time, trying to save her because they keep losing her. Maybe that's what's happening, and the only way that they feel that they can save her is by turning into a vampire. So that could be what's happening in this specific story connected to Romance Untold, but we'll have to see. So let's go to the interlude, and I'm going to put my phone on the charger. Okay, so this is the interlude. I don't have my phone on the charger. I'm just hoping everything works out. Don't know what to expect. I haven't seen this yet. I think I've seen, like, maybe, like, images of it, but that's about it, so.
You have escaped the darkness. You've escaped the cave of twisting paths. All that remains is the pulse. Your escape was no accident, for I laid the path ahead. My voice, your guide. The others still seek for your shadow, but you are already led along the rhythm of your pulse. The desert, where traces vanish into the wind. Take a breath. You are free now. Love and desire on the finest line. You linger for a moment.
Interesting. You've escaped the darkness.
You've escaped,
which we're talking about the vampires.
Escaped the cave of twisting paths.
So this is heading into the next part of the story.
All that remains
is the pulse, which is, I think, the human, the mortal, the being that is still with you that is not yet a vampire, apparently, because it didn't seem like they actually succeeded in turning her into a vampire, but I guess we'll see. So that's, by the pulse, I'm assuming they mean the human.
Is the pulse.
Which is why we see the human here as well.
Was no accident, for I laid the path ahead.
And then the path has already been laid before them. This is their fate. Walk the line, so to say. But who is it that's laying the path ahead? Is the question. Which kind of makes me think of a certain being that we talk about in the Hype universe that I won't talk about here just because it hasn't showed up in a while and I haven't checked out Islet stuff yet, so we're just going to hold on that. But
my voice, your...
Who is the voice? Could it be Chloe?
Your guide. The others still seek for your shadow, but you are already led along the rhythm of your pulse. The desert.
The desert, we've had hints of since, like, Fatal Trouble. We've seen it with ENHYPEN, we've seen it with Anteam, quite a few times. And it seemed like it might be connected to the Witch of Yedasa, but maybe not. But we've known that they would be journeying into the desert for some reason. I assumed it was for the Witch of Yedasa, but having read the two moons, I'm not quite sure if they're going to be looking for a witch in this current timeline. But they are definitely heading into the desert for whatever reason, so I guess we'll find out, but I do think the answers lie there. And this is connected to their webtoon, more so than the separate story we're talking about, but the desert has been something that we've been hinted at since like a couple years ago.
Where traces vanish into the wind, take a breath.
Because you can't take a breath if you are a vampire. So is this them becoming human heading into the mortal world?
You are free now. Love and desire on the
love, desire, fate. Whatever the names were that they said in the Dark Blood trailer. I'm gonna see if I can put it here real quick.
This is a story about pride and oblivion, love and sacrifice, and faith.
Whenever we watched the Dark Blood trailer, Dark Blood trailer, I remember that I thought it was interesting because they had some of the words capitalized as if it was a name. I remember I was trying to figure that out, and I still haven't figured it out. But it connects to, like, we've had Desire Unleashed. We've had Fate. I guess we'll find out.
finest line. You linger for a moment.
And then this background kind of reminds me of Anteam's concept trailer in their recent album for Back to Life. For Roar, this looks a lot like that, which is like dark fantasy, fairy-esque land. Still desert, but still kind of different. And it's almost like, it's like this is the reality, but it isn't reality.
On the finest line. You linger.
It's being created for them.
For a moment.
Right? Like, it doesn't feel like it's the actual reality. It feels like they're escaping here, but are they really escaping? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But that was fun. Definitely curious to see where this goes. I have no idea. But I heard the entire album is like a whole story. So that means that we're going to be busy. Which is great for me, but also I'm going to have a hard time keeping up. I was actually going to be releasing and working on catching up to Islet. And now I feel that might be a bit more of a challenge. Hopefully I'll get that done soon. But I know ENHYPEN is going to come out with more stuff soon in the next couple of days. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. But super excited for this. Comeback. The anime comes out next month. So I'm super excited about that. I made a fan cast list. It's not on YouTube. I'm going to see if I can release it on here. But it wasn't coming. It wasn't like letting me post it. So I'm going to have to make a video for it. But the Dark Moon Blood Altar anime is coming out soon, so let's go. And the album for Sin Vanish is coming out next month as well. So we've got quite a bit ahead of us in the next few weeks. If you weren't busy already with the holidays, I'm sorry for your wallets, because I'm sure you've already spent a lot, and I'm sure you're already about to spend a lot more, so good luck. But yeah, this is really good. I'm going to try and separate the story from what we know in the webtoon, just to kind of get an idea of what's happening, and that'll, I feel like, kind of help connect to what we'll see in the webtoon as well, because that, I feel like sometimes they'll tell a story that aligns, not exactly, that parallels what we'll see in the webtoon. So getting an understanding of what we are going to see here is going to help with that. So, but yeah, so far I'm pretty straightforward-ish, but I guess we'll see. There's some like lore things hiding in the background that I feel like is hiding in the background that I'm going to take a look at and kind of just put a pin in for later, as I also try to catch up to Islet more. But until then, yeah, thank you for watching and see you soon. Bye.